Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Carl Mingers. This is Aaron Burns. We are WRME Live, Weichert Realtors, Main Edge, out of Mustang, Oklahoma. Man, lots of stuff been going on around here, weather-wise and everything else. We even got some storms rolling in this morning, but they're small. This last week, we really got hammered pretty hard.
We did.
It was some amazing storms. I was standing out in front of Lowe's. We was buying some building supplies for one of our projects, and we could see the storm coming from the north and the storm coming from the northwest, and it was looking pretty awesome, and everybody's running around pulling all the stuff in
Right.
at Lowe's, and I'm just like, maybe I ought to head to the house, you know. And then the storm hit from the west at the same time, and it tore some stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
But that's part of owning real estate and life in the big city and life in Oklahoma for sure. I mean, that weather can change so fast. It's crazy.
So, and always just a friendly reminder, after big storms where there's a bunch of damage, there's always scammers out there. So, keep your eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
Be due diligent. Do your due diligence.
Yeah, and check your property.
Yes.
You know. Wow, we're up to episode 115.
We are.
That's pretty amazing. Okay. We were without power. A lot of people were without power a couple of days, you know. At least our stoplights are working this morning.
Right. The high school was closed one day.
It blows me away how people, you know, the stoplights are dead, so they put the stop sign out in the middle of the road. And it's like everybody's like, oh, I don't know what to do.
I know, especially when it's more than just 2-lane traffic. Usually.
Oh, yeah.
You got the 4 lanes and the turning lanes.
It's hilarious
really
to watch
throws
some of that
people
stuff.
off. What stinks, though, is when you know what to do, but you can't do it because you got to worry about getting it because somebody else doesn't know what's going on. I watched.
Me and this dang phone.
I got to watch some interesting traffic stuff running around the other day with all that power outage.
Oh, yeah,
and then we
crazy.
had some power lines down, so I was diverted through a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That was even funnier, watching people navigate that.
Yeah, it's watching traffic is kind of fun. Yeah, people are crazy. Okay, I think we were going to talk a little bit about we've talked about TRRs, treatment, repairs, and replacements before, but we're going to discuss a little bit about what happens when all the repairs can't be made before closing. What are our options?
It has happened. I've had it happen a couple of times actually. So
you can either delay the closing,
right,
which sometimes that's the best. A lot of times it just isn't feasible for everybody involved. Okay.
And that's like almost the last case scenario. Like you have no other option. It has to be done before closing.
You know.
And that's usually when you have the bank, the lender involved, that it's something that has to be done for the lender.
Right. Satisfy
like
FHA, something like that. A lot of times we can go ahead and have the vendors that are going to do the repairs bill us up front so it's all taken care of in closing to be done, say, within 30 days or something like that. Generally, they give us 30 days.
Or you got some vendors, like if it's a roof that needs replaced. Some vendors will do the work and get paid at closing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Sometimes. Some won't. Some can set it
but
up.
But what if they couldn't get it done?
Right.
You know?
So they get paid at closing or paid in advance, and then they schedule it with the new homeowners afterwards. Or windows. Windows seems to be a big one.
Right.
You know, windows have to be ordered 2 to 3 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, depending on how custom they are. That usually can't be done and replaced before a closing.
Right.
Who wants to delay 4 or 5 weeks just for windows?
Exactly. I had a commercial deal this week that, the environmental, there was no possible way to finish the environmental stuff before the closing happened. So the seller put $50,000 in escrow at the title company.
And that's also another option.
To allow for the environmental stuff that has to be taken care of on top of what my buyers are taking care of. And the title companies are a little bit quirky about some of that stuff. Sometimes they want 1.5 times whatever the amount is. We expect this to be around $20,000 or $25,000, but we just went ahead and put $50,000 in the escrow, and any escrow left over after the repairs or cleanup is done goes back to the seller.
And another option too, I've had one where the buyers wanted it done, but they could do it themselves. So the sellers, we adjusted the sell price.
If you can adjust the sale price, and if it passes the FHA or VA
or they're like,
inspection.
okay, we'll put $500 towards their closing or whatever, just as an example to offset.
Right, as long as it's not a lender requirement, you can do that all day long.
So there's
works great.
multiple options, and sometimes sellers want to make sure, or buyers want to make sure they kind of get what they want instead of just what the sellers put in, or whatever the situation may be.
You know, and we have a new breed of buyers. You know, we have a couple of generations now that aren't very handy. You know, they don't really want to do. You know, they may want to. They just don't have the experience, and they haven't watched enough YouTube videos yet to go figure out how to do some basic home maintenance and stuff. I had to walk one of my daughter's friends, who's 32 years old, through how to change his air filters over the phone this week for his heat and air. Okay. And I said, well, generally in most houses it's a white screen. He goes, I don't have a white screen. I said, well, maybe they painted it. I said, look around on the ceiling, whatever.
Right.
He goes, I have a gray one. I said, a gray one, okay. Do you have gray paint? Something, okay, that's fine. He got it on his chair, and he pulled the little levers down, and the whole thing was just covered with dust.
Oh,
okay?
Right.
He's lived there 2 years and has never changed an air filter. He didn't know how. Okay? So that's a new era of people.
Yes.
You know, I change air filters all the time. I probably change them too much. My wife's got some allergies and stuff like that, so filter's getting a little dirty, it goes out, you know.
I'll be like, have you changed them lately? I'm sniffling, sneezing.
I write the dates on them and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm like, okay. He goes, well, it won't come out. You know, he's trying to pull it out. I said, is your air conditioner running? He goes, oh, yeah, it's running. But I said, well, you may have to turn it off. And when it did come out, it covered him with dust and all that other stuff. He's like, coughing on the phone. I'm like, I wish I had a video camera, you know, so I could see what was going on.
But you're not the only person. I've talked to somebody that owns properties, and they had to take time out to go walk through and go over stuff with their tenants. My son thinks I'm mean and cruel, but he can do dishes. He can do his own laundry. You know, there's stuff he can do. I need to make sure he can take care of himself.
When they leave the nest, it's time for them to go away. Okay? My wife and I are empty nesters, and we love it. I tell you, you know, we love our kids to death, and our grandkids even more. But you know, we like our just us time. Our last vacation we went on was just me and her, no agenda.
Right.
We loaded up in the RV, took the Jeep, and we didn't even know where we were going every day because our regular plans got canned.
Right.
And it was one of the funnest vacations we've ever had. Okay, I mean, it was awesome.
It's fun. Even sometimes we'll have a destination, but we'll just go and then decide what we want to do when we get there.
Do you think a lot of the younger generation does spontaneous stuff like that? I've got a couple of nephews that are big into hiking and biking and doing all this stuff. And they plan everything down to a T.
I think it's a personality thing.
Okay.
Because there's some days I want a few things planned because I know I want to do X,
right.
And you can
well,
only
in real
do
estate,
X
our day has to be planned.
But on vacation, unless somebody else is planning it and I'm just riding along, like the Europe trip, that was for the most part planned, which was fine. I would have never known what to do over there by myself. But if I'm going someplace, I would have figured it out. Yeah. There's been times like we went to Mexico a few years ago. We had a few things planned because we wanted to go to this location and do this, and we wanted to go snorkeling, and that was planned. The rest of the time it's just like, oh, let's go into town to the market, or let's sit at the beach. Or
now in real estate, when we get a transaction going, we have to plan, and schedule, because all these things have to fall into place. And some of the younger folks I've worked with think we're maybe a little too structured on that stuff. You know, they don't show up on time or what. You know, they just have a different view, and that's not all of them, just a few of them. And it's been interesting to do.
But I know some adults, older generations, my age. I think it's just like I said, the personality and stuff. Because you have these people that are 15 minutes early, they're late. And
we had a meeting with the bank yesterday. They're really courting us pretty hard, and we're 15 minutes early. And the guy walks into the meeting room and he goes, "Oh, you're on time." I says, "Right on time." And he agrees with me. 15 minutes early is on time. On time is late, and if you're late, that's just unacceptable. And we clicked like that. Okay.
Those personalities, which we learned, each personality is different. So some are always late, but that's no big deal for them.
Well, that's part of what makes TRRs so hard on a house sometimes. Some people work on their own timeline. I love inspectors that, every inspector on my list, when they schedule something, they show up.
Yes.
Okay. I know roofing and other construction is kind of hard because things can get put behind kind of because of rain or something like that. But Leroy, my main roofer, if he says he's going to do something, he's there. And if there's something that comes up, he's letting me know and letting me know the future predicted time that it's going to be done.
Like I have some now on a listing. I'm waiting. Roofers are supposed to be getting in there quickly because we're working on some TRR stuff. It's raining right now. I bet I'll get a text here in a little bit saying, "Hey, I couldn't get out today. I'll be out tomorrow," or whatever.
Right.
Letting me know, which it's obvious they're not going to be out right now in this rain on this roof. But
good morning, Dustin Merrifield. Dustin Merrifield is one of our local builders. His parents actually live across the street from me, and they just celebrate, I think, their 48th wedding anniversary. That's pretty cool. Not a whole lot of that goes on in this world anymore.
No.
Of course, we just celebrated our 38th this month, okay, by working on a house. Yeah. Okay, we didn't go anywhere, didn't go out and eat. 38 years. Hi, hon. See you later. We got work to do.
Peace out.
All right. Well, we probably ought to start wrap this up. Yes. You got something else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
Just a reminder, we have tickets for Chuck Wagon Roundup if you want one.
The Western Days Chuck Wagon Roundup, and unfortunately that doesn't start until 5 o'clock on Saturday. But if you guys are there Friday or Saturday during the day, go over there and check out those wagons. Okay, those guys will have like cinnamon rolls. They'll have a little thing, and you can smell all the food being cooked, and you can choose which wagon you want to eat from. Okay,
and then, like we said before, they love to talk about it because that's what they do.
This is their deal. They do this. This is their. It's not really a hobby. It is a hobby. They don't do it to make money, but it's their life.
But it's a passion.
They absolutely love it. People get into hobbies, but these people love what they do. And it's part of the rich heritage of the West. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. You got to come see that. All right, we're Weichert Realtors Main Edge, where we do real life, real world real estate every day. Come see us.
Bye.